I was speaking at a conference the other day about, of course, digital transformation, business development. And the question came up, how do you see the future of insurance? What should incumbent insurers do to prepare themselves for what's next? Welcome back. I'm Frederick. Well, the fact is that nobody wants to buy insurance. I think we've touched upon this topic many times. Insurance is a product that you buy in most cases because you have to, and it's for sure a product that you hope that you're never ever gonna use, because if you're going to use insurance means that you've had an accident or something bad happening. So basically you're paying a lot of money for something that you hope you're never gonna use, and you don't want this. So whenever you look at insurance or insurance products, of course, step number one is to make the buying of the insurance as hassle-free and as easy as possible. However, if people, they can completely avoid thinking about insurance, avoid buying insurance directly, they would. And that's my point. I think in the future, the platforms like Amazon, like websites who are selling all kinds of other interesting products that people actually want, those are the ones where we will be able to sell at least consumer insurance products in the future. If people, they can avoid going to an insurance website to buy some kind of home insurance or travel insurance or car insurance that they don't understand anyway, they will. This is the point of departure for me. I do agree that if you look to corporate insurances, it's a little different. But again, it's not something that people are really happy to deal with. Let's go back to the consumer insurance. So you as an insurer in the future, you have to be able to connect to the websites, to the distribution networks that are offering the products that the consumers actually want to buy, where they have interest. And you just have to make sure that you can offer your insurance product as seamless and as individualized to that customer as possible. And that puts a huge demand on you as an insurance company, because chances are that you have your monolithic legacy system that is completely untouchable, because nobody knows what happens if you start opening up that box. So how can you create insurance products that are that granular and that connects that easy to third-party platforms? It's a question of looking at what Gartner, they call two-speed IT. Gartner's two-speed IT is something that I'm a huge advocate for, because to me, that enables incumbent insurers to create a more flexible front end, a more flexible way of connecting to consumers, but also to partners, and offering this flexibility that partners, they will require in order to offer your products to their customers. In short, Gartner's two-speed IT is splitting up your ways of working into your core, your legacy systems, where you have your transactional data. This is what they call the systems of record. You then create a layer of an enterprise service bus and an API microservices there that connects to a front end or to a partner. And this is where you do the development. It's called systems of innovation or systems of engagement. And in the name you can hear that this is where you have the freedom to play around, to do new things, to test things. So you have to make sure that the robust thing is in the connection between this front layer and the legacy system. And of course, this is where you have to place your future development work. I can also go on and say, I don't believe that there is a future in a complete transformation of insurers' legacy core systems. Of course, you have to transform them if they are impossible to work with, but don't start a 10-year project in transforming it, because the day that you are done, you're already having an old system that is not up to speed with what the markets require. So make sure that your core systems are as stable and as sturdy and as safe as possible, and then build these layers around it, because this is where you'll be able to create more individualized products for the partners. This is where you can change your websites at will, instead of having to do these large change requests that takes weeks or months to carry out. This is, of course, much easier said than done. And the way you approach it is you first of all, and this is probably the biggest decision that you have to make, is you have to create this API interface between your core systems. That's what's going to be your future front end. When you start looking at this, you'll find that you probably have a lot of APIs already, but they are custom made from a specific front end to a specific back end, and this is not going to work. So the way the API layer has to work is that you have to create, of course, a robust way from the API layer going down to the core, but in the front end, the APIs here should be as standardized as possible so partners can connect to them, and through this connection go down and work with the core systems to issue the policies, to get the prices of the products. The API layer, to me, is the biggest hurdle that you have to overcome, because this is where you have to work with the core system to make sure that the API layer at the end of the day is flexible enough. So put your energy here. Make sure that you find an API middleware product that is strong enough and future-proof enough, and make that connection down to the core. Now, when you've done that, you can start creating the APIs to your different partners and front ends. And this is where you can start playing around, because once you have a stable connection down to the core, you can change the front ends at will, so to speak. You can apply agile bi-weekly developments or deployments, if you like. You can create a sandbox environment for partners to work in, so they can actually just connect, and then they can issue policies on your behalf without you even have to do anything. It's when you have this capability, you can go out to the distribution network, to the platforms, and say, hey, when you are selling this travel, when you're selling this TV, you just have to connect this little thing to our API layer, and then you can sell our insurance to cover the TV, to cover the travel. And that is what I think is the future of insurance. So insurers, we have to create our architecture, our IT ecosystems in a way so we are extremely flexible and can accommodate the needs of the future distribution channels, the future distribution partners. Because if we are not flexible and if we don't have the right pricing tools, then they'll just go somewhere else. In this digital world, they don't have to stay in the same city. They don't have to stay in the same region of the country. They don't even have to stay in the same country to find the insurance products that they need, because it's digital. They can reach out to whoever offers the best. So make sure that you are one of these. The first thing that you have to recognize is that don't touch the core too much. Do not touch the core too much. Build a layer around it that allows the outside world, that allows your websites, your apps, whatever you have, even your own business units, to connect to the core, but in a way where you can change the way it connects, change the functionalities of what you need on a daily basis if you need so. That's my best advice for insurance companies in the future going forward. Isolate the core and build a layer of engagement on top of it using middlewares and APIs. Good luck out there. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.